Doesn't quite get it, but will be able to push him out of lane. Now Canyon turns up towards that top side. Decent pathmaker there for siwoo, who flashes, and first blood still goes over to Canyon.
They can't get chovy. It's just time wasted essentially at this point.
Yeah, not really anything going their way, unfortunately, as chovy now moving on over towards this battle around the crab. Korea trying to hold his position, is slammed into the wall, does have that aftershock, but he's still just taking down so incredibly low. They look for chovy, but they lose their Leona. The kick goes back, there's the scatter, but he gets into the shroud and gets out of the way. Sonic Wave doesn't land. siwoo's gonna pick up Canyon. Can they actually pull him through the wall? They can. There's the unleashed power, and finally a kill goes over to D+ Kia, but Gen.G, I think they're all right with it.
This was the best case scenario for D+ initially. siwoo's actually now in trouble.
Yeah, this one's not over yet, as Kiin is going to teleport back in, does pick the gap with the shock blast, but it doesn't matter. He flashes forward. siwoo gonna have to try and dash away. Lucid, I think, might be able to escape, but the bouncing bomb finds the Kasante, and it is now 3-1 for Gen.G.
It just feels like...
But Gen.G just move out of the way of where they're trying to attack and just kill someone on the other side.
I mean, look at bot lane. They've all moved to try and collapse in on the Ziggs, and Willa just leaves and walks away. Now, though, chovy's moving in. He might be under fire, but we see siwoo targeted on the top side of the map.
Yeah, let's see whether this all out is actually going to be able to help him here as he pulls Canyon back. There's a great kick from Lucid as the Solar Flare is going to miss. They do manage to take down the Akali.
And this is what Gen.G want with their dive as well, but siwoo is still so healthy. Looking for that Jace W to try to push this one through. It's the Grubs working with it as well, and they will get first break.
Yep, there's the Hextech ultimatum as well, as he does pull Duro out of there so that he can break that ultimatum. Now Pathmaker to try and get him over, and that's a brilliant Q to connect. Lucid comes down. Kiin just kills him, though. Kiin's still going to be able to go down as Lucid picks up the kill. Doesn't hit the Q, didn't need it. And a 1-for-1 is going to ensue.
Side, they won out on the top side. We're going to see a TP from chovy to come over here for the contest. Also Smash rotating up right now. This is a really pivotal mid-game fight.
Yeah, Ruler throwing the bouncing bombs in as well as he turned up with his teleport at the same time. Should be the Herald going over to D+, but can they keep themselves alive? Is chovy on a good flank angle? There's the bullet time connecting, but not really for too long. Mega Inferno Bomb's better as Korea should be taken out here. The Impale is going to get eaten by the Pathmaker, and if they lose only the Leona, then this is good news for D+.
Absolutely worth it.
For D+ Kia can give them an edge here. Use it as a combat herald into this. Lucid is very strong. 2-0-1. Can maybe find an angle in on the back of that. He's going to throw it down.
Yeah, All Out is going to be coming up very, very soon as the Sonic Wave connects onto the Dragon. Now the Rift Trail comes in. It is going to be the Secure of the Drake for Gen.G. as Lucid trying to get on in there. Oh, the pullback! siwoo finds the angle with the Q. chovy trying to limp out of there, and he might be able to. The rest of his team not so lucky as Canyon trying to get to the relative safety of this outer turret, but he gets scattered, and showmaker takes him down.
Just
have some free time with this outer turret. siwoo down towards the bottom side playing defense, but Kiin just eats through these turrets so quickly with his 2,500 gold lead. Duro's going to move in, and siwoo, okay, let's see whether he can get out of this one. Not with a Q like that, unfortunately, as he goes all out, but unfortunately, Duro's got an ultimatum for him, and down he will go.
To have. Baron really not on the cards for the side of D+, even if they have control with this MF. Even with 3 items, they can't do it quickly, and their turn is shaky at best at this game state.
Oh, Duro possibly in a little bit of trouble here as the Solar Flare gets flashed. Canyon looking to drive his way over as chovy gets scattered. He ults his way out of there as the backflip is going to be good as well, but now Korea gets lifted up and put back down again. He survives for a decent while, but Canyon will be able to finish him off. There's the Impale as well, and the flash away from Lucid is not quite enough. He does get the kick down, the flash away from the bullet time, and Canyon's going to be safe. siwoo not so lucky as Kiin just does so much damage.
There's no flanks. There's no way to wrap around. Look at the ward coverage to the left of the pit, to the right of the pit here.
Oh dear, chovy finds a backflip onto siwoo. He takes too much damage. There is the perfect execution, and it was the perfect play to make. There is a bit of a battle on the bottom side of the Baron. And there is that Baron that you were talking about, Canyon. Beware of the hunting Baron. But I think Canyon is hunting the Baron himself.
Even the hunting Baron's not enough for Canyon.
Yeah, no. Lucid coming on over though. Let's see who's going to be able to get this smite. Maybe this is the way the DK can get them back into it as Smash trying to have a good position here in this fight. siwoo gets on in there, does have the all out to try and create some angles, pulls them over as Kiin. He should be the target, and he is going to get taken down. The shutdown goes over to Showmaker as they have the man man advantage in the fight. Hextech ultimatum, the scat of the week is so good, and Showmaker is able to keep himself alive. Smash now is going to fall. Kiin now going to have that health bar truly tested. There's the resonating strike, and the shutdown goes to D plus Kia. How are they doing it? As Ruler is there, still has a lot of damage, and Chovy might be able to finish them off, but Lucid's in there with the smite, and they should be able to take the Baron. Gentlemen, how did D plus do that?
Control. So this means D plus can actually, for the first time, put Lucid on a big flank angle. They have Syndra to set up picks. It's very difficult for Gen.G to approach. They need to be very careful as to how they play this, because if they mess this up, they may just find themselves in that third place match tomorrow.
Up against T1 as well. It's a dangerous opponent. Try and lock down that third place. Showmaker with that blast going, looking for the scatter angle as siwoo trying to place himself there as a target. Chovy goes into the Shroud. The rest of D Plus now ready for a fight, as you can see. siwoo taking so much damage though, and D Plus need to start this one as soon as they possibly can. Lucid not able to get in there for a kickback. And still just hunting with these Sonic Waves. D Plus can move back towards Fog of War now, but the Shock Blast is so incredibly dangerous. Lucid safeguarding forward. There's Kiin getting pulled back. The scat of the week not going to quite connect there. And they are slowly but surely locking them down. There is a decent impale, but into the backline goes Korea. Kiin just locks him down the bullet time, trying to get rid of Ruler as a kickback onto Chovy to get him away from the carries. But Gen.G have taken down one. Hookshot takes Duro into the backline, but he might be too deep. They've taken out Smash though. Scatter comes in. Force of will from Showmaker to take that one down. But siwoo is so incredibly low in this back line, and Kiin will force that flash to get him out of there.
Well, right now we are going to see if Lucid can find a way to steal.
Well, he gets spotted out here as well, as the Elder Dragon down to 9,000. Showmaker moving over as Chovy going to get kicked back. There's the scatter. He goes golden though, but Showmaker held onto the ultimate there for a moment, but it's not going to quite be enough. There is the Elder taken by Gen.G. Lucid burning down, and the impale from Showmaker. Betrayal from his former jungler, and Kiin going to be able to pick him up and give him his first death of the game.
Lucid's engaged. He killed Smash in the fight with a follow-up ultimate, and Gen.G are looking to take us to 3 on the push.
Let's see whether they can do it, as now trying to deal with this Elder Dragon is so hard. Kiin just picks up Lucid, throws him back. He does get a kick, but it's not quite enough. And they are still at such high health bars with this Mountain Soul down to the Guardian Angel, but that Guardian Angel unable to do anything for Lucid, as at least Smash has a health bar here, but they only have one Nexus turret left available. In goes Duro to try and find the angle. He gets taken out, but so does Showmaker. Smash trying to get the damage throughput though, and is able to take out Chovy. You can see there with the bullet time, not quite able to do enough damage, but Gen.G is still going to get pushed out of the base.
Good news here for D+. Second inhibitor down. The first is still down for 2 more minutes. And that's when the Elder spawns. They have so much control, but they may just end this game right now if they can find the angle.
Yep, looking to continue pushing this one forward. That Baron's still running, and 3 siege minions now. They called their friends. Another one going to join.
Oh, and a super minion coming up mid.
Yeah, this is just getting too much for D+.
They might just have to use Smash to try to clear the wave.
And that is not what they want to use that bullet time for. There is the all-out, though. The impale is going to be avoided. Hextech ultimatum from Duro into the backline, but there is no follow-up for it. They do get the Camille. Chovy goes golden. The base is now exposed as Chovy gets himself out of the way. There's a killing spree for Kiin. He's at full health, and he can 3-hit this Nexus if he gets close enough. The scatter is good onto Kiin, but Chovy finds siwoo. siwoo's still pretty tanky. The flash out of the way from to the skies as he goes down to the Guardian Angel, and Gen.G will tie up the series. The title defenders here from EWC 2025 are 1 game away from defending it against KC.
And this was